Politeness is ruder than bluntness. And I know that that sounds backwards because the blunt people feel rude in the moment, like they're not taking people's feelings into consideration, and they don't care about other people. While kind people like to be, you know, give and take, and sorry about this, sorry about that. But there is definitely a kind of kindness that is far more rude than just being honest and, excuse me, being honest and telling the truth. So I'm not talking about the kind of kindness where, you hold the door for somebody, you pay for them in line, pay for the next person in line or behind, or, you let people merge in front of you when you're driving. The kindness is great. It's awesome. That's not what I'm talking about. The kindness that I'm talking about that's more rude than just being honest and blunt is when you feel too bad and like you shouldn't tell somebody no. And I've experienced this a couple times so far. Same thing I said in my video last night, that, these guys that I'm having cold called, the contractors that I want to work with, build them websites, we're trying to get on a meeting with them, and, excuse me, they pretty much just say yes to the meeting to not be rude and say no, and obviously to get off the phone. It's pretty likely that in their head they're thinking, I'm not showing up to this meeting, like I don't care about that. So it would just be so much more polite to just say, no, I'm not interested in that, and I'm not going to be offended that you're not interested. I cold called you, right? Why would you need to express any kind of interest? It's completely fine to just say, nope, I'm good, and hang up. There's no other explanation needed. As opposed to when you say, yeah, let's take a look, and you schedule it, you say, we're going to take a look, and you don't show up. I try calling you, you answer and say, I can't do it. That's it. No other text or anything. It's frustrating because it's like, I don't want yes men. Is that what you want to be around, is yes men? People who just tell you what makes you feel good? Because if that's what you're doing to other people, then that's what, sorry, my air fryer. If that's what you do to other people, then that's what you're going to attract for yourself in your business. And I'll notice that sometimes I do it. If somebody cold calls me and they're, asking for the next step, in my head, I'm like, oh, I should just tell them yes and I'll get them off the phone. But no, dude, when you're on the other side of it, you realize like how messed up that is, because you're leading them on to think that you might be interested when in reality, in your mind, you don't care. You're not a qualified prospect. You're not interested in actually buying. And if I want to compare it to something pretty similar, it would be like if somebody has something on their face, a mark, dirt, they got a booger hanging out of their nose. The same type of person, I don't want to say the exact same people will do it, but the same kind of kindness is not saying anything because they don't want to be rude and point it out. It's like, dude, just tell me I've got something on my face, and then I'll clean it off and it's gone. It's embarrassing to walk around with it. I'd rather be told that there's something on my face so I can go clean it off so it's gone and nobody else sees me with a dirty face or a booger hanging out of my nose. I don't know. So we live in a society that is so padded and so cushy, for certain people, and they think that they can't be rude. It's like, well, sometimes it's better to just tell people how you actually feel. I don't know. If anybody's watching, I really appreciate you guys. I want to check in more often. I know I've said that in so many other YouTube videos and been inconsistent, but I've got 3 other meetings scheduled at this point. I'm not sure how serious they are. If all 3 of them were like the other 2, just trying to get that person off the phone. So I'm going to implement some other stuff and, tell my cold caller, like, hey, when they say yes to a meeting, tell them, just ask them seriously, like, do you think you're going to show up? Like, if you don't, or you don't want to, and you're thinking in your head right now that this is just to get me off the phone, just tell me, like, you're not going to offend me. I'd rather hear a hard no than a fake yes, and give them a route to get out of it. But either way, I'm just going to keep pushing, keep trying to work, because I cannot work my job that I am. forever at least. I mean, I can work it for another couple years, another few at most, but I'm hoping to get out in a few months, but I don't know if that's realistic, but we'll see. I'm gonna try as hard as I can. Every waking moment, man. Just grinding it out. Putting my life savings and all my time and energy towards this business so I don't have to work for somebody else. Doing something that I don't really like. So, this is day 2. Hopefully I can keep this going. It doesn't have to be every single day, but I mean, if I can be consecutive about it, get as many days in a row, I feel like it'd be a good motivator. Yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.